Hello, your future Daniel the Prophet here. At least that's what I found out during my last reading. If you guys followed along, you would know. If you were watching my reading, you saw me perk up as soon as they mentioned that. And I just kind of wanted to go over, other than 44 inches of rain that China got on the 23rd. I wanted to go over, the New Mexico started their flooding and landslides began on the 23rd of June, and then eventually became a state of emergency on July 10th, and then Brazil began on the 22nd to the 24th. That's when I started my readings, and then also Kerr County, Texas had flooding happening. Okay. And then during that time, there was, looks like 5 eruptions, going on or getting worse during that time as well. So I kind of want to just kind of go over it. And then basically there's been like 600 to 700 earthquakes around that time each day. So I kind of wanted to go over that and kind of bring you up to speed on things as to what happened during my readings, right? Because what, like I brought up before in the other stuff is like every time I read, there's major things happening, right? So my last major reading was July 3rd, right? That was my last major reading. Well, turns out since July 3rd, we've had over 500 floods in total, right? Right. All right, so that's kind of a big deal, right? That's probably unheard of. Probably last time we had that many was Noah. Who knows? It's been a long time, I know that. Not during my lifetime. All right. So I read 22 to 28, right? And that's when we found out about Daniel the prophet, and then that's also when Jesus dies, right? So what happened on July 3rd? Well, the entire Colorado River turned red, didn't it? Blood red. I mean, I looked at the color of it, and it looked blood red to me. So when they drew blood on Jesus in my reading, that's when the entire river turns blood red. Isn't that wild? It's absolutely fascinating. Isn't it poetic in a way? Sure is. I found that out the next morning after my reading. I'm like, wow, it was July 4th when I found out. I'm like, that's pretty major. So that happened. And then also on June 20th, they did a reading of the seismic reading for Yellowstone, and it was flatline. Now on July 3rd, it's going nuts, okay, in Yellowstone. So that happened on the same day of my reading as well. So that's really wild, okay? That's absolutely wild. And then you had the Guadalupe River that rose 27 feet in 45 minutes or whatever, and probably went over 40 feet, which was a record as well for that. And then prayers go out to all the families and everything for all this stuff. I mean, it's sad, but look, it's all for a good reason. It's all for trying to wake people up and make people realize that God is real and this stuff is very real. And my readings started it. You know what I'm saying? Like, my readings really started all this stuff. I mean, why else would the river turn red, right? Right. And I also want to read you again at 24:15 in the Bible, it says, "When ye therefore shall see the abomination of desolation spoken of by Daniel the prophet, stand in the holy place." So whoso readeth, let him understand. So like me reading to you guys, right? So I read to the world. See what I'm saying? And then all this stuff happened, right? So let's be clear here. I read what, basically the end of the, we go over the end of the world. You know what I'm saying? During this time, it talks about, another thing that happened in China was a sun. It looked like 4 suns or 5 suns, and it said in my reading, it was going to shake up the heavens and stuff like that. Well, it looked like the star was shooken up because it, I could post a picture, but it's pretty wild, pretty crazy. But it's in my reading. It says in 24:29, it says, "Immediately after tribulation of those days shall the sun be darkened, and the moon shall not give her light, and the stars shall fall from the heavens, and the powers of the heavens shall be shaken." So, I mean, it looked like, the star had been shook up, you know what I mean? And like had multiple suns, it's really wild. Really wild. But that's part of the reading. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just trying to break things down for you guys a little bit as to what's going on and why. I mean, yeah, I gotta be Daniel the prophet, don't I? At least, right? Yeah, so it says, it says right here, and this gospel of the kingdom, this is 24:14, by the way, which I was born on the 14th. And then it says, "And this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations, and then shall the end come." All right, so I mean that's pretty deep. I mean, that's what I'm doing here. Gonna preach the gospel, and it's pretty serious, right? So let me go to the 8th of July, okay? So on the 8th of July is when I was upset. I was upset because, I've been, had a disability for 10 years now and not been able to make money. And I was finally going to go and, get on disability because, the thing is I'll just stay up forever and die. So it's a very serious condition that I have. And I have to be very careful with my energy and stuff like that. So I was going to go and apply for disability. Well, turns out they only want to pay me $9.50 a month, right? So I'm getting upset because that means I'm not the only one suffering here. Everybody's suffering, and the ones that are suffering are not being helped, right? You got people on the streets, you got, people suffering, and we got people with millions and millions of dollars and, all this stuff, and they're not helping out the suffering of the world. They're just letting people suffer. So I said to God, I said, you know what? I said, why don't you make it flood some more so that we can end all the suffering of the world and show everybody, what's going on here. And, I didn't say exactly like that, but I can find the exact wording for you. But what I will say is that that's basically what I said. I wanted to end the world suffering. If we can show everybody by show of force, with some floods, that we need to end the world suffering. That's what we need to do as a people, as an entity, as the world. the world needs to know. The world needs to stop letting people suffer. People lay on the street and thousands of cars drive by and nobody helps, right? We need to stop that. We need to stop that. So the day I said it on the 8th of July, okay? I made the statement. I said, put it on my Facebook, all right? And that day, the same day, 12 states got hit with new flooding, okay? As I said, the word flood, God made it flood in 12 states. Now, I've never heard of this happening before in history, where 12 states got hit with floods all in the same day. And especially the day that I say the word flood, and then it floods, right? Right? I mean, I've never heard of 12 states getting hit by floods in a day. So on the 8th and the 9th, 12 states got hit with flooding, okay? And I wanted to let you know where it came from. It came from me, okay? Because I want to end world suffering. And I want to have heaven on earth, okay? So in order to do that, we have to let people know, right? We have to let people know that God is real. We have to let people know that I'm real, that I'm here, and that I'm concerned for everyone in the world, not just me, but I am concerned with everyone. And this is a show of force with the 12 states getting flooding on the same day as my prayer to God. He responded immediately and swiftly. And, well, I think you all should start paying attention. I really do. I want you to share this to everyone in the world. I want everybody to know about the Spark 160 page, okay, channel. And if you don't, shame on you. You know what I mean? Shame on you. I'm trying to tell people, I'm trying to end this flooding stuff. I'm trying to end world suffering. So you can either help me do it or don't. That's up to you, isn't it? That's up to each and every one of you to help me end world suffering. Because nobody should suffer more than their condition. Don't you agree? Whatever condition they're in, if they're suffering, they need to be helped. Don't you agree? I think everyone deserves to be helped on the planet. In order to have heaven on earth, we have to end world suffering. Don't you agree? I mean, that's what it really is, right? At the end of suffering is the beginning of something new, right? So God sent 12 new floods in 12 different states on the same day as I bring it up. So I want you guys to know we're serious. I want you to know we're here. And I want you to know we're everywhere. So that you know God is not messing around. Neither am I. I want to have world peace. I want to have the end of world suffering. And we can begin something new without too much, you know what I mean? We don't have to do too much to make this happen, do we? You know what I mean? I just want people to start, listening to me, right? Yeah, it's probably a good idea. But, yeah, so we've got, ever since July 3rd, we've got over 500 new floods. That's unheard of, okay? And you can blame me for it. Sure. I want to fix things, I want to be a major part of it. I want to fix things. I want to make God happy, right? Because he's not happy right now, right? So what do we got to do? We got to fix things, don't we? Yeah, we do. People shouldn't be suffering, should they? No, they shouldn't. All right, so it's your job, along with mine, to fix it. You need to help me complete my task, which is end world suffering and have heaven on earth. Now, I'm going to start a new foundation, Heaven on Earth Foundation or whatever, so we can do this. If you want to start donations and we start working towards what we need to do, then we can do that. So, I just wanted you guys to know what's happening and why. Because this world ain't right. So we got to make it right. You know what I'm saying? You guys don't care. So we got to make you care. Don't we? Yeah. Yeah, we do. Yeah. So, it is what it is. You don't want to listen? So, it's kind of like a force. Right? There's a force to be reckoned with on this planet. It's called God. All right? And we all need to start listening, don't we? Yeah, we do. Yeah. And we've had suffering on this planet for the last 2,000 years, and it's not been good. So we need to fix things immediately. And that's where I'm at with it. That's where I'm at with it. So I hope you all get on the horse, because I've been riding it. And, well, get busy. All you have to do is share my video. I know that's hard for you, but that's a start. Okay? Try to do something with your lives instead of just letting things go on the way it is, because it's not good. Not acceptable. It's not. It's unacceptable. Me making $9.50 a month is unacceptable. It's not enough money to live on. So guess what? I've got a problem with it. And so does God. Get some.